Oh, okay. So I just started the stream. Hello, everybody. Amazing, awesome, amazing psychic trauma. We're on the psychic trauma channel. We're doing a stream yards because it's better than restream. So here we are. We just started up. We just spoke with Billy Mitchell, the King of Kong, and we have challenged him to a video game challenge. And he said that it was his brother, whatever the fuck is Jim, and he doesn't even have a brother named Jim. So we will be calling him more. We have his number, and I think we should save it in our phone, actually. But cheers, we're taking a shot. Yeah, I'm live. Oh, and for the let me read the chat. Yes, we can. Natalisa, you can either put the number in my stream or your stream, but I'm going to be back because I'm going to grab another fucking soda. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. Oh, all right, this stream has ended. Okay, nobody chats on amazing anyway. Yeah, you're right. We'll all use psychic trauma. Mexican gardener. Okay, I'm closing out of this one. All right, everybody. Here we are. So, psychic trauma paste. There's the link. All right. What happened to Billy Mitchell's brother? When Charles dies of a heart attack in 1998, Billy became the guardian of Jamie. Holy shit. Oh my god, I just spoke to the fucking mullet master himself. And he called himself, hey, Kenny, it's Outlaw Cat. Hello, BH. Hello, everybody. I've taken all my clothes off for the occasion. I hope you have fun. All right, so Billy Mitchell, brother named Jim or James. It looks like we'll say Jim. Jim Mitchell. All right, hold on. Did Billy Mitchell have a brother? Flashback episode into Billy's father, Stephen, blah, 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 and brother Charlie. Wow. That's not what we're looking at. Gaming. All right. William James Jr. We're going to Wikipedia. All right. I've taken on Kenny. I enjoy that you have zero shame. Thank you, Natalisa. There's no shame in my game, and it's only game in my shame. All right, Kenny, King of Kenny, fist of phone calls, fist full of phone calls. All right. I'm reading the Wikipedia. All right, blah blah blah. Donkey Kong, we can test that. Remember the Twin Galaxy forums found discrepancies in the videos Mitchell had provided for the King of Kong. He used emulation software to falsify his score. Blah 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 blah. Mitchell's family owns Ricky's Restaurants in Hollywood, Florida, Pembroke Pines, Florida, and sells Ricky's world's famous hot sauce. Mitchell was born in Holyoke, Massachusetts. Avid pinball for Pac-Man, blah, 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 blah. U.S. National Video Game Team, blah, 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 blah. Burger Time, Pac-Man Challenge. Retro, Return to Gaming. In 2004, Mitchell achieved the Donkey Kong score of 933,900 in front of multiple witnesses at Midwest Gaming Classic. His personal best, blah blah. It's probably the greatest arcade video game player of all time. Blah blah. King, a fistful of quarters. Blah 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 blah. Tiger Woods. Blah blah blah. I'm looking for a fucking gym, dude. Let me read these chats. Kenny, look up Apollo Legend. This dude's a real flaggate. I'm not surprised he chose to exit stage left. All right. Apollo Apollo Legend YouTuber. We'll just say Apollo Legend without clicking on any of those. Apollo Legend Billy Mitchell. Let's go down to that one. Today I made the decision to remove many of my videos from YouTube. I did it in the full agreement I have reached with Billy Mitchell. Wins lawsuit against YouTuber Carl Drafts. A court case based on Carl's acts that Billy Legal's action led to a suicide of fellow YouTuber Apollo Legend. Holy shit. The court awarded Mitchell $300 in damages for non-economic loss and an additional $50,000 due to Jobs publishing the video twice, mocking Mitchell's complaint about failing to apologize and withdraw the allegations is clear malice towards Mitchell. Apollo Legend, his first channel spotlight speedrun community happened when Apollo made 2 videos about Billy Mitchell. Holy shit, so is Apollo Legend dead? Looking this up after the phone call was the right sequence of events, my man. Many of my videos for my YouTube channel, I did fulfill agreement that I've reached with Billy Mitchell, but also because I thought it was the right thing to do, I have also taken the opportunity to reveal additional growth. That have nothing to do with Billy Mitchell. This has nothing to do with our agreement. I deleted them due to rapidly changing nature of YouTube. For your own protection, I ask you do not republish any of the videos I produce about Billy. As part of our agreement, I have given Billy ownership of these videos. This means he has the ability to remove these videos if they are republished to YouTube or any other public space. Billy and I agree it is in our best interest to make a deal and move on, so that's what we are doing. I will no longer discuss this topic either publicly or privately. If you ask, I will send you this post. I am sure many of you will be disappointed with this decision, but I believe as the months pass, you will understand why I did this. Okay, join June 10, 2016 at Apollo Legend. 2,000 subscribers, 60 videos. Speed running community. He's as dead as Kaylee Anthony. You should make it so your YouTube comments are read aloud by a chat bot. Yeah, you're right. He quit life. As it turns out, allegedly, Carl may have helped with the video cited by AI, but contributing to this decision was funny. He is the bot. That is funny. It's like rain on your wedding day, Nick. Sorry. I did this because I was about to out myself. Rain on your wedding day. Billy used MAME. What a coward cheater. C and core CGE. Okay, well, he hasn't posted a video in 5 fucking years, dude. Benjamin Smith, 1994 to 2020, better known online as Apollo Legend, was an American YouTuber who made commentary videos mainly revolving around speedruns. In this material, he showed various examples of fake speedruns, top 10 of Giving News. Oh shit. His first channel, Spotlight in the Speedrun community, happened when Apollo made 2 videos about Billy Mitchell and Todd Rogers, 2 record holders considering to hold cheated world records. After these 2 videos, Apollo started to be recognized by the community in both positive and negative ways. On December 30th, 2020, Apollo uploaded a video, Letter Taken Down, on his second channel, which was taken down. The short video included a download link and a very long text in this text. Apollo names Dark Viper, AU, Easyscape, and other famous speedrunner commentators stating various things about the situation that led him to this hard choice. In the long text under the video, Apollo tries to expose the speedrunner community, calling it a bunch of hypocrites, while also pointing out his mental health caused by childhood trauma that worsened over time. The 8-minute downloadable video included much more details regarding Apollo's house, such as the many traumas he experienced as a kid, daily vomits, and the many regrets about the choices he had done to his friends and himself. After the video was released, several YouTubers were shocked about the announcement. One among them, Drama Alert, who tried to give consultation to Apollo. Unfortunately, it was later announced that Apollo had died by suicide. After the announcement was made, various YouTubers, including Dark Viper AU himself, gave their tribute to Apollo. Following Apollo's death, various YouTubers were accused of bullying due to the text, including a shade of those who had made at least one video about Apollo himself during the Dark Viper drama. Afterwards, many had to upload a video about the problem, saying that they had been manipulated by the text and that Apollo had done so unintentionally. Various people also debunked the long text, pointing to the hypocrisy in the airs, theorizing that Apollo had no idea what he could have written in the final message. Personal friend Salodon emerged as a YouTuber for the first time in defending him from the collective besmirching of his memory. Let's read this shit. All right. Rain on your wedding. Billy used Mame. What a cheater. See in court. Billy is about to get 30,000 K in custom windows. Allegedly, purportedly, Billy named his Dick Diddy Kong and masturbates to videos of Donkey Kong raping the princess from Super Mario. He's a sicko. And theoretical Minecraft. I love CGC, allegedly. Yo, Vinny. See in court, Vinny. Billy Mitchell has a 6.1-inch penis. Not bad. 6.2, actually. Even Aaron has him beat. Hi, Kenny. 14 head. Hello. Let's call this nigga again. Is that Christy? He offed himself because of Billy and the IRS. Call him and identify himself. Aaron Karshowski. You talking about me or Apollo, Neg? Myself. 30,000. Oh, wow. Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Hello?
Yo, dog, I'm calling about the note.
You're a bitch, and you owe me money.
The note you left in my car.
Yeah, because I fucked your mom and your wife and your daughter.
Somebody in my car left a note with this number on. Are you calling me a liar?
And a bitch.
Listen, dog, I just got out of prison a couple weeks ago. Don't make me confound you.
Fuck you, bitch. I fucking run prison, motherfucker.
Who's your insurance company?
Bitch, I'm the emperor of the Aaron Empire
in
in
my
prison.
money, messing up my caddy.
I'm going to shit in your mother's mouth.
Don't make me send my homeboys after you.
I will fucking stick their dicks in their mouth.
If that's how you want to play it, then fine. We're going to have some issues.
All right, we have issues like Time Magazine. All right. Yep. Okay. So we called Billy Mitchell. He said it was his brother Jim. Because I said my name was Apollo Legend. All right, go to channel. We're looking at 14 head. I just noticed the shirt, the Orthodox shirt, politically incorrect since AD 33. August 11th, 2024, 14 head. User V1PCL3-E8G. All right, let's mute that. Ken Bone don't play. All right. So, and ask if he used an emulator. Hello, Amy. How are you? Amy, are you moving out this month? Are you going to that apartment? You all on the internet do what you want. Well, I hope everything works out. I remember last month you were talking about like everything was good. You just had to figure out the 30-day notice. But if you're still going to the same property management system, you should be good. I mean, they should know already. And don't be surprised if everything transfers over because it's the same property management. So if you paid up your rent, it should transfer over. If you owe rent, it'll transfer over. Now, I'm not moving to a different apartment with our property management when I get back from Dubai. CGC is McCormick's Whiskey. Amy, you're right. You're going to miss the community here because then I remember it's mostly crackheads and bums. Yep. What's Laurel's double slit experience? Did Amy just call us crackheads and bums? I've never used crack. The last time I smoked crack, I was in Rome, Italy, outside the Vatican, and I stole a glass pipe from somebody in the military, and I hit it, then I threw it on the ground, then I jumped up on top of the hood of an armored personnel carrier, grabbed onto the armored windshield wipers, and started gyrating. And when the military tried to pull me off, I beat them and pulled them up onto the hood that I was gyrating and started gyrating them. I don't even like uppers, Amy. I'm referring to the apartment building. Yeah. Your beard is nicer than Billy's mullet. Thank you. So, I hope you all click the phone number. Because remember, we got to find that phone number. Remember, like this: a week from now, 7 days from now, will be 424. We're going to find that motherfucker and talk some shit on live stream. We'll have the extra money. Think about it. If it only costs like, dude, it costs $500 to go a round trip from Cuba. It's like $250 to go to Florida, $250 back. So we'll say $500 round trip, plus another $250 to like find a spot to stay in Florida. We can go to Billy Mitchell's home, and we'll just hang out there. And I'll bring a separate phone. I'll download Donkey Kong to it, and we'll play Donkey Kong outside of his house until we fucking get an interview. I'm serious. I'm not lying. I'm not lying, dude. Like, seriously. I'm ready. Think about it, dude. 1 week from now is 424. Another week is 431. Hold on. How many days are in April? 30. So it'll be May 1st, right? So we will be the Thursday before we go to Dubai. So we could spend a couple of days there, fly back to Colorado, and then fly to Dubai. Mic drop, motherfuckers. You guys ready for this? All right, let's read these chats. All right, hold on. I'm referring to the apartment building. All right, laugh out loud, Jason. Jason White. Laurel Karshowski has two pussy holes, Kenny. One is like a pinhole above her vag. It's basically a reset button, but it also quite possible the entrance to Narnia. Amy, I wish you good luck. You dry hump the MP. I don't know what that means. Negative. No clue what that means. All right. Hopefully everything works out. Yeah, all the best, Amy. Yeah. Okay. Good luck. Do you need help moving, Amy? Worst case, you can move in with Kenny. No, you cannot move in with me. Kenny said he could help. No, just emotional and spiritual and whatever the fuck. If not, Kenny is single and ready to mingle. Can you prank call our neighbor? Which neighbor, Amy? We have several. Kenny will call you a race trader while he's inside you, Amy. Can you say the same about your husband? Holy shit, Jason White. I don't know where the fuck that came from. What the fuck, dude? I'm not sure it's a current number. What's the number, Amy? All right, but anyways. Oh, fuck. I ate all my sausage and pepperoni. April is the fourth month of the year in the Georgian and Julian calendars. Its length is 30 days. No. In the Julian calendar, its length is 28 days. Remember, the Julian calendar has 13 months. Each one is 28 days. So, y'all fucking crazy. Yep. What the fuck is the number? Who are we calling, yo? %20 nicotine juice. What's your go-to cologne? My mom sells Avon. I normally don't have cologne. My go-to cologne is just my ball sack. Just sweating it out, Think about how many girls just want to suck on a man's ball sack after they work out. As long as like their taint and their asshole is clean with like wet wipes, because fresh, good dick sweat and ball sweat just girls go wild for. UBH urine's a little too salty, all right, and has a little too much electrolytes that are mixed with too many hardcore salts. But ball sweat has the right amount of salt and the right amount of electrolytes, and girls just love that shit, yo. Love that ball sweat, dude. As long as that ball sweat's not sweating off the back of your ass and your taint, so as long as you use wet wipes and you fucking clean your asshole and your taint properly, you go work out, you get some good ball sweat going on. Oh my god, girls up, they love it, yo. So I bought this vape. This is a pack of three American Spirits. Or 2.5. I haven't smoked weed since since we got back from Russia, all right, because I did smoke some weed in Russia with the government. But sexy government, cool. 20% nicotine juice. So last weekend I went out and I got in a shit talking match with a cop. And the cop was like, yo, dude, why don't you go to fucking Yemen? And then I was like talking about, why don't you go to fucking Yemen? Why don't you send me to Yemen? So I honestly don't want to send people to Yemen unless they're using syringes. If you use a syringe against somebody, that's a violation of the Magna Carta. You want to know what another violation of Magna Carta is? Putting somebody and their family into a cage and then turning the somebody into a vampire and letting them get hungry and eat their vampire. That is a complete violation of Magna Carta. The Magna Carta was written by vampires. A lot of people don't know that. The Magna Carta was written by vampires, And the vampires abducted the king and was like, yo, dude, if you don't sign this, we're going to put you in a cage with your family and turn you into a vampire. Because your knights are humans and we're vampires and we can fuck off your knights. So, what's up, y'all? So, seriously, all right, I'm here for the conspiracy theory. Cool. I'm here to fucking rage out. With that rage out, we gotta find Billy fucking Mitchell's address. I know a lot of people said, hey, Kenny, we'll pay for you to go somewhere. I'm saying I will pay for me to go somewhere. So, if somebody can find Billy's address within 3 days, his real address, I will go there within 7 days. Yeah, I will leave next Thursday, the 24th of April, to go find Billy Mitchell. I will download whatever I have to download to my phone. I have a spare laptop. I'll go there and we can play that. Or we can find out an arcade next to Billy Mitchell's home or anywhere near Billy Mitchell City and say, hey, yo, dude, we're going to live stream and we're going to rage out on these games. And honestly, Gauntlet. You guys remember the Gauntlet? The thief has eaten the turkey leg. The wizard has obtained the keys. Yeah. Let's challenge Billy Mitchell to a fucking game of Gauntlet. We each get 5 quarters. Yeah, that's $1.25. I'm not saying just one Sacagawea. I'm saying a Sacagawea and a fucking George Washington, motherfuckers. So it's 11:30 p.m. What are we doing? It's Thursday night. It's 44 degrees out. All right. So remember, tomorrow night, which is in a half hour, tomorrow, the high is supposed to be 33 and the low is supposed to be 28. It's going to be freezing tomorrow. Yep. And Saturday is supposed to be freezing. And then we're supposed to hit 60 degrees. Hold on. Weekend forecast.
This weekend's forecast for Denver is 45 degrees with light snow.
So Friday is a high of 33 with a low of 27. Saturday is a high of 45 with a low of 32. Sunday, we're supposed to hit 420. Remember, we have a 420 ticket. A high of 59. So let's be honest, y'all. If we're not going to go find Billy fucking Mitchell, the King of Kong, and challenge him to a fucking game or an arcade game off, should we just buy a VIP ticket to fucking Billy to 420? Tommy Chong is the host. Hold on. 420 lineup, Denver, Colorado. Okay, Mile High 420 Fest. We already have a general admission ticket. All right, here we go. Main stage, Corday, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Conway the Machine, Kali, Nakel Smith, Souls of Mischief, hosted by Tommy Chong. This fucker. All right, there it is. Scroll up. I already have a general admission ticket. I already purchased one. VIP experience, $175. All right. Tommy Chong meet and greet. Okay, 2 stages of music, marijuana exhibitors, and celebrity guests. All right. Colorado's best food trucks, dude. I doubt that because I used to have a food truck. So, anyways, all right. I'm here. Did we call this Billy nigga yet? We already did. Do you not remember? We did that on fucking somebody else's stream. I won't mention. We did it on Natalie's stream. We'll just say Natalie's stream. Billy who, right? Fucking Billy Mitchell, who answered the phone, is Jim, his brother. How the fuck did he fucking shitstone us, dude? I have to hold this button because I want the boost. I want the full nicotine. We got 20% juice left. I thought there was going to be a repeat. I thought this guy was the, well, that's it, guys. Ex-Pastafarian. You can burn the coil sucking on that hard. I don't give a fuck. The battery is still at 100. The juice is at 20%. And I feel that's lighter because the juice is gone. And let's open it up all the way. This is more oxygen in the fucking vape. Oh, Billy! It'll be a waste of money. Who the fuck cares, dude? Ex-Pastafarian, your channel started July 2nd, 2015. You have 2 videos. Okay. Official Pastafarian. Um, go to channel. Inky Doot Doot started in 2015. The Many Noises of James Craig. All right. So, anyways, have you tried calling the Colorado Quit line before? No. Do you know the Quit line pays pregnant women to stop smoking? I should identify as a pregnant one, right? Amy, I read that as burn the coal by sucking too hard. A definite crime. Okay, so Colorado, I don't know if they've already passed it and the government signed, but it's House Bill like 1324 or 0324 or 1312. It's a transgender legislative bill. So if you misidentify a transgendered person, it could be considered a hate crime, which is a violent felony. So I am Christ King of Earth. That's my gender. I'm born Christ King of Earth. So if somebody identifies me as Mr. Wheeler, that's a hate crime. Because remember, I'm Christ King of Earth Wheeler. Ta-da. All right, Amy, I read the blah, blah, blah. But what are the pronouns? My pronoun is Christ, King of Earth. So think about it. If Colorado passes this law, it's a violent felony, a hate crime. It is a hate crime to dead name or misgender identify somebody who identifies, right? So I identify as Christ, King of Earth. So if somebody calls me Kenneth, they can call me Kenneth, right? Because that's not dead naming me. They can call me Wheeler. That's not dead naming me. But they cannot call me Mr. Wheeler or Mrs. Wheeler or a bitch, all right? Or a fag or a punk or a loser or a fucking crazy. They have to say Christ, King of Earth, bitch. Christ, King of Earth, loser. Christ, King of Earth, Wheeler, all right? Because they're about to pass that law. And when they pass that law, my pronoun is Christ, King of Earth. My gender is Christ, King of Earth. Oh, I just dropped down to like 2 fucking people. I have a corny joke. They call New York the Big Apple, but I call Denver the Crab Apple. Right? Everybody just left. Holy shit. So, should I just call the stream? Yeah, dude. It's like the apple with crabs, chlamydia, and fentanyl. Denver. Oh, so tomorrow we have to finish our email and send it off saying the official cause of death of Brian Thompson is excited delirium. So Brian Thompson didn't die of gunshot wound. He died of excited delirium. Right? Everyone's here, ding-a-ling here. It only shows one person viewing my live stream. Oh no, they're not. I mean, think about it. If Negative, Amy, and New BH are still watching, that's 3 people. So that means YouTube is chopping off my fucking views, as they always do. So, shows 16 on your end. It shows me 2. It only shows me 2 people are watching the stream. And honestly, like, last weekend when that cop told me to go to fucking Yemen, and I was like, you go to fucking Yemen, dude. I don't want the cops to go to Yemen. All right, that is a condom, a protectorate, a shield. I just want people who are using dirty syringes to go to. Remember, using a dirty syringe is a violation of the Magna Carta. I'm still here. My apologies. I was telling Natalisa how I plan to turn her into a chocolate milk cow to power my business so that I will be competing with Yahoo, Yoo-hoo, and Nesquik. They had chocolate milk where I was at working today. So I said, no more sending people to Yemen. You send me to Yemen, you send me to North Korea. Somebody's in the military and they fuck up, send them to fucking Fort Leavenworth. So, I have to hold my thumb here to get it back to the boost, the heat. so I get a deep hit. Says I'm now at 7 fucking viewers. But anyways, we're 45 minutes in. It's 11:43 p.m. It's 33 degrees Fahrenheit, which means technically we're 1 degree above freezing. So we're at liquid, about to hit solid. But yeah, we're at 9 fucking viewers. What are y'all thinking about? What are y'all talking about, dude? Because seriously, it's about to be midnight here, 2 a.m. on the East Coast. We just talked to Billy Mitchell, who claimed to be his brother, saying, "Oh, well, Billy's in Los Angeles at a movie premiere." So the first season of episode 2 of Andor is about to hit. Um, I watched the entire season of Wheel of Time, the most recent one, season 3, I think. I've been watching The Studio with Seth Rogen. I think that's pretty good. So yeah, so the King of Kong. Seriously, all of you people out there, find his address, dude, and we will. Kenny, how many TV channels do you have? What do you mean? Do you mean like Amazon, Disney, Apple TV? Because remember, I pirate stream. I have them all, motherfucker. Netflix. Yeah. Oh, you pirate? Okay. Yeah, I do. Why not? Remember, I saw the entire second season of House of the Dragon like 6 months before it came out, or 3 months. I thought it was legit, dude. So today at work, I was operating a forklift, and I was going slow. All right. The reason I was going slow because there's so many motherfuckers who are drunk, high, fucking off, and I had to move slow. And I'm honestly like weaving on a forklift between 20 or 30 people, dude. And this one dude's like, "You need to go backwards," and I was like, "All right," because I was going forwards, and he's like, "Yo, your view is blocked." And I was like, "Doesn't matter if my view is blocked. If I go this way, I can see easier." But he was like, "No, go backwards." I was going backwards, and when I went backwards on the forklift, all these fucking retards were showing up. These dopamine hits must be keeping you up. Dude, I've been taking this supplement called Haritaki. Here, I'll type it here. I think that's it. Haritaki, yo. My dreams are so fucking out there, dude. Oh my god, like the first night I took it, like the couple of nights I've been taking it, if my phone doesn't wake me up, I'm stuck in a dream. I'm fully cognizant and aware. I'm in a dream, and I can't wake up, and I'm just like battling it through a fucking dream. And I'm like, holy shit, what do I do? And like my dream hits like this weirdo pause, and like it's not going anywhere, but I'm there and I can see the past of the dream that I just went through. And then I'm here in a present state of the dream, color, sounds, tactile, fucking feedback, uh, psionics, happyonics, whatever you want to call it. And, if it wasn't for my fucking alarm, holy shit, dude. And when I take my sleeping pills plus the Haritaki, I'll wake up like sometimes like a half hour before, an hour before, and I'll go back to sleep and I'll have another dream that feels like I've been sleeping for like 3 or 4 hours. And then when my alarm goes off, I wake up and I'm like, oh, I'm refreshed. So this Haritaki supplement is holy shit, dude. Are your dreams lucid? You mean like cognitive and mentally aware? Somewhat. So here we are. This stream is about to last another 9 minutes. I think we're going to call it at 12 midnight on the stream. But, I mean, honestly, y'all, here we are. Have a good night. Damn it, I keep on turning on the boost, and the boost keeps turning off. When we going back to Mother Russia? Okay, so Jesse Moore. I know this may sound odd. I thought about going to Mother Russia to getting the hair done, and I believe I thought to myself that I wanted to stay here in America because I wanted to be here when martial law and civil war happens because I want the fucking rampage. Martial law is supposed to happen in 3 days. Well, 2 days because it's rough at midnight. On 420, an executive order will kick in. All right. So on January 20th, President Trump signed an executive order requiring the federal government, everybody in the federal government, it doesn't matter if you're the Supreme Court, the Congress, any agency, any bureau, blah, 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 to state whether or not the president has the right to initiate the Aliens and Sedition Act and impose martial law and put the military on the street, nullifying the police and the National Guard. So most states and the police have already been prepared to say, hey, on 420, martial law will be imposed, which means the police no longer have jurisdiction. The state no longer has jurisdiction. So if you're in a city, a county, or a state, they can no longer prosecute you. Only the military can. So all court activity on 420, if martial law is imposed, is null and void. So then that means President Trump can send whoever he wants, foreign or domestic, to the mega prison in El Salvador, the same mega prison which on Google Maps had a whole bunch of dead people, a pile of dead people and blood just hanging out, and now Google Maps has removed it. It's a blank space. Did you see Trump's tweet about Project Mayhem? No, Trump has a tweet about Project Mayhem. Jesse Moore, seriously, what do you mean? Trump, if I look up Trump on X, Twitter, X, whatever, will I find Project Mayhem tweets? So I'm going to be honest with you. When I was younger, I used to grow my own moss. I used to grow my own tobacco. I used to grow my own marijuana. So I used to roll up tobacco into cigars. I used to roll up marijuana into cigars, and I used to roll up moss into cigars. I used to smoke moss. Moss is an amazing fucking cigarette, an amazing fucking cigar, dude. When you went to Russia and live streamed the whole time, it was the best 2 weeks of my life. We're going to go to Dubai. We might go to Florida and find fucking Billy Mitchell. We're going to go to Dubai to sell this painting for $100,000. We sell one painting for $100,000. We'll have enough to go back to Mother Russia. Jesse Moore, just so you know. I live in Florida. Yeah, I remember that. You told me that. And I hope you're free on the streets until at least May 20th. Because remember, our trip to Dubai ends May 20th. So May 20th, right? We will find out whether or not we, us, me, us, are polytheists, will have enough money to travel back to Mother Russia. That painting right there, $100,000 in Dubai, right? Kenny, do you like to watch women pump? What does that mean? Like a woman put on a penis pump and just pump up a dick? Or a woman just grinding or sucking or just like lifting weights or just like milking her tits? Like seriously. Carl Chops losing to Billy wasn't on my 25 bingo card. Here we are. The last one. Their tits? Jason White says, like, did the hair transplant not work out? Well, Mr. Gamer, I'm looking at shit. 2017, 23 videos. And your most recent video was 7 years ago, dude. We hit the 2 hour mark. Think about it, y'all. We're 10 seconds. Okay, so I'd rather suck on a girl's tits than watch her pump her own breast milk. We're 15% juice on this fucking shit. So I bone jam women who had kids. I sucked on those titties. I put more suction force than their fucking newborns. So yeah, 1 hour, 1 minute, yo. We just hit the 1 hour and 1 minute mark. So here, let me if anybody's got anything to say, join up now because I'm thinking about calling this stream because it is now midnight, motherfuckers. Dude, did my hair transplant not work out? I have no idea. I'm supposed to wait a month. "2019, It's Always Sunny in Tulsa." 4554. Only a couple of shorts. His hairline went all the way back. Yeah, no, dude. It's supposed to regrow. His hair went back to Cali. Now he has a patch of bald hair missing, all for what? Nothing. Yeah. Well, we'll find out soon, right? Because it's supposed to grow back and, well, it's supposed to fall out in the next month and then regrow. But think about it, yo. That patch right there in the front, that patch was supposed to fall out, but it's still growing. Your head has a Hitler stash now. Whatevs. Kenny, do you support the kabooming of children? No. No, I don't. No. All right, let me put it like this. I read the Bible, and Palestine, Israel, whatever you want to call it, is not the promised land. And as when it comes to the Holy Land was proclaimed by a Italian Pope in France to facilitate the First Crusade. So that way, Christians can take over an economic trading post. Kenny, I was hoping you'd say some way more fucked up than that. Come on, you're slipping. You're supposed to say yes. Well, let me put it like this. I read the Bible, and the promised land, the Israelites, the Jews, whatever you want to call them, is southwest of Cyprus. Southwest of Cyprus is flooded because the Great Flood took it out, all right? Remember Hannibal? Hannibal sacked Rome with war elephants. Hannibal came from Tripoli. He traveled west and built a navy and traveled up. So the Mediterranean desert was flooding into the Mediterranean Sea because, the Strait of Gibraltar did not exist. The Pass of Gibraltar did exist. It was a mountain pass and it had a valley. And then people dug into it to cause the ocean to flood the Mediterranean desert. And the ocean came in with so much force because it's the fucking ocean. It started destroying and crushing out the mountain pass of Gibraltar and flooding the Mediterranean desert. So when that started happening, Hannibal took his war elephants, built a navy, and sailed across the east side of Gibraltar into the Atlantic Ocean and went into what we call Spain, the Iberian Peninsula. He stayed to the mountains because he didn't want his army flooded overnight because that was happening. And then crossed into what we call the Italian Peninsula, Italy, to seize Rome. As Hannibal was attacking Italy with his war elephants, an Italian general decided, hey, let's march across this desert that's being flooded and seize Tripoli. Tripoli being the homeland of Hannibal. Hannibal, while in northern Italy, attacking Rome, southern Italy, an Italian general marched across the desert that was turning into quicksand because it was being flooded. He lost his son. The Italian general lost his son. And then they marched across and seized Tripoli because the army of Tripoli was gone. Tripoli was open to attack. So a Roman general seized Tripoli by marching across. When they seized it, they had to build a navy to sail back to Rome. But they marched to Tripoli and sailed back to Rome due to the fact that the Mediterranean desert was being flooded. And once it was being flooded, people knew how much time it would take. And so allegedly it would take 40 fucking years to get from Tripoli to Anatolia, which is right next to Istanbul, Turkey. All right. So Istanbul, Turkey, and Cyprus and Egypt had an inland fucking delta. And so the flood didn't hit yet. But when it did hit, Cyprus became an island. Greece became an island state. And the flood flooded into what we call the Black Sea. So it flooded through Turkey and up this way because that's how the elevation works. So when the Roman general siege Tripoli, and sailed back, it was already flooded. All right. So at that time, the promised land of the Jews was part of the inland delta, which was just completely fertile, the fertile Nile Delta, because the Nile flows north, and the Nile flowed into an inland area. Just like a lot of rivers in Africa, they don't flow to an ocean, they flow inland, and it produces a marsh. They're like all throughout Africa, all right? So these rivers in Africa flow into the land of Africa and just dissipate. So it becomes like a swamp, a marsh, a muddy fucking quicksand area. And all these animals grow there and eat and reproduce. So the homeland of the alleged Jews or the Israelites is southwest of Cyprus. Cyprus, that area is now flooded. So southeast of Cyprus is what we call Palestine, Israel. 105, let's say 120 years ago. All right. That land used to be occupied by people who look like me, Irish people, red beard, blue eye, red hair, white skin, blue eyes. And so the Ottoman Empire with the United States gassed it and bombed it, because the Navy of the United States started because the Ottoman Empire gave ships to the United States of America to fight the Barbary states, which means we're going to gas and bomb the north coast of Africa and the east coast of the Mediterranean. And so that continued from 1800s, the 1820s, or 1812 to 1912, or whatever you want, 1815 to 1950, for 200 years, all right? Because the Irish people were slaves. And so the Irish slaves were like, fuck you, we're going to rampage. And so these Irish slaves took over the southern Mediterranean and the east coast of the Mediterranean. And the Ottoman Empire, Turkey, said, hey, we'll give you the ships if you provide the people. And America was like, yo, dude, hoorah, fuck you. We're going to start a Marine Corps. And then Europe, France, Danish, German, Austrian, Italy, gave up all these chemicals and fucking firepower to just launch chemicals and fire bombs on them. All right? So in World War I, what people call Palestine or Israel was occupied by people who look like me, white skin, red hair, blue eyes, or red hair, green eyes, all right? So in World War I, all those people got exterminated. So after World War I, the Ottoman Empire was crushed out, along with the Russian Empire, Orthodox, all right? So the Middle East broke apart. It was no longer the Ottoman Empire. It became separate countries that were divided up by Europe and America. And all those countries decided, hey, we're going to send all our prisoners and people we don't want to this western area, which was Eastern Mediterranean, Palestine, all right? So Palestine, which was Palestine for 2,000 years after the flood, became Palestine, for lack of a better term, the area that you send the people you don't want. All the criminals, all the prisoners just flooded there. They got sent there, right? So all the people were like, yeah, we're Palestinian. This is our homeland. But they got there in 1919 or 1923, all right? And so they set up shop. And then 4 decades later, or 3 decades later, World War II happened, all right? And then after World War II, all the criminals and the people of Europe that they didn't want. So think about World War II happened, and they exterminated all the criminals and people they didn't want. They put them in concentration camps. And then they sent them to Palestine, saying, as long as you claim to be as long as you claim to be a Jew, you can go to this area. All right. So think about it. In 1920, all the criminals, vagabonds, and undesirables were sent to Palestine, Israel. And then 1945, 25 years later, from Europe, all the criminals, all the fucking undesirables were sent to the same area so they could battle it out. So you had non-white people from 1820 to 1920 sent to this area. And then Europe decided, okay, we're going to send all our undesirables, all our criminals to the same area in 1940, 1945, whatever you want to call it. So you have all these non-white people, brown people, going to Palestine, and then you have all these white people from Europe going to Palestine, claiming it as Israel, all right? So all the criminals from World War I got sent to this area. And then all the criminals from World War II got sent to the same area, but they were called Jews, all right? Zionist Jews, whatever the fuck you want to call it. So neither one of them had been there for 125 years. It's 2025, all right? Neither one of them had been there for 110 years because it's 2025, not 1915. So think about it, all the Palestinians saying, oh, this is our homeland for generations, for thousands of years. No. Prior to 1915, it was all white motherfuckers who looked like me with white skin, blue eyes, red hair, or white skin, green eyes, blue hair, right? That's what happened. And then the Jews came, or people who claimed to be Jewish, because remember, they were just criminals. And Europe said, hey, we're going to send all our undesirables and all our criminals to Palestine as long as they claim it is Israel and they can take it over. And that's what happened because we funded them. And all the people in the Middle East say, yo, dude, we don't trust these people and we don't want them here because 2,000 years ago, when the Jews left, they were black. 2,000 years later, they come back and they're white. They're not fucking Jews, dude. Fuck this. And Iran still has Jews, but those Jews are black, not white. So Iran says we have the same Jews because those Jews went eastward into India and Pakistan and that area. They didn't go westward. No Jews went back west 2,000 years ago. Those are not Jews. Those are not Israelites. Those are fucking Zionist, fucking crazy fucking criminals that escaped into Europe, survived. Europe kicked them out and went to Palestine or Israel, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And you can watch the old Indiana Jones videos because remember, prior to World War II, it was never called Israel. It was called Palestine. So when the Indiana Jones video shows the plane traveling to Egypt from Germany, it says it hit Palestine and then into Egypt. Because remember, Israel didn't exist at that time. So, Kenny, you have one spot on your beard that's darker than the rest. Sure. Do you color your beard? No. All right, but anyways, the people in Israel aren't really Jewish or Israelites because remember, Israel is southwest of Cyprus, not southeast. So Israel doesn't even exist. It's flooded. It got flooded during the Great Flood. That's what happened. All right? So the Great Flood took out the sacred Holy Land or sacred Promised Land of Israel. And then after the flood, a Roman Pope an Italian pope went to France and said, "Hey, everybody needs to get together and go attack these Muslims." Why? Because they wanted to commit trade. They wanted a corporate enterprise to go to Middle Asia to East Asia, the Silk Road. All right, and that's what happened. Okay, so I don't know where everybody gets all this bullshit from, because Israel, as long as it's white or not black, is not those people. Because back in the day, in the Egyptian times, they were called Nubians, right? So all the Hebrews, all the Jews, all the Israelites, they're the fucking niggers in fucking Egypt. So when Moses crossed the Reed Sea, not the Red Sea, them motherfuckers were dark. And then he went up this way, and then they got exterminated. But people who had the writings kept going that way. And then the people in charge said, "Hey, all you criminals, this is your fucking heritage. Learn this." And they were like, "Oh, okay, we're the sacred fucking Jews. We get to do all this shit." And then for over 700 years in Europe, these Israelis, these Jews, kept getting kicked out because they weren't native. They were just some foreign horde of slaves who kept being sent out through fucking Europe. And the European monarchs and the European people kept saying, "No, dude, you're fucked up. You're fucking retarded. We're going to keep booting you out." Because think about if you're like the foreigner, the immigrant. You're just going to do whatever you can to fucking take over and set up shop. And so, like, think about in areas where you had white-skinned, blue-eyed people, but non-white, non-blue-eyed people showed up saying, "Okay, we're going to do every shitty job we can to control." And so the Europeans let that happen. And then they're like, "Yo, dude, this dude's not German. This dude's not Austrian. He's not Danish. He's not French. He's not Spanish. He's not Italian." Right? And they just boot him out over and over and over. And so then in World War II, when all those fucking Jews were exterminated, all the Israelites were exterminated, there was a leftover band of criminals. And all criminals were labeled with the Star of David, because the Star of David represented not native, okay, not heritage. So if you went to Norway, all right, and you weren't Norwegian, you got the Star of David. If you went anywhere, Denmark, France, Spain, Italy, Luxembourg, fucking Hungary, Bolivia, Yugoslavia, whatever you call it, everybody who was a foreigner got the little Star of David saying, "No, this is a dirty fucking Jew. Get him the fuck out." And so they got put on trains elsewhere, or Auschwitz. Auschwitz, elsewhere. All right? And so they just kept getting pumped out. And so when all these Jews got sent out to Egypt, to Liberia, to Algeria, to Libya, to Arabia, which wasn't even Saudi Arabia at the time, because remember, that was still part of the Ottoman Empire. They got sent to all these spots because they just kicked them out. And then the remnants of these criminals said, "Okay, I'm an exile." So Jew or Israel, it could mean exile. So all these exiles got kicked out. And then Europe and America were like, "Okay, let's send all the exiles here to Palestine to fucking rampage the Middle East in 100 years. So they had a plan saying, "All right, in 100 years, we're going to allow these exiles to control so much." So they just rampage against Islam. Because think about how many hundreds of years in the Crusade that Islam spread it west and then hit the Mediterranean, and then kept spreading west upon North Africa and Southern Europe. So this is a multi-century plan that started over 1,000 years ago. So this multi-century plan is now hitting an apex that we're going to send all these fucking exiles east into the Middle East. That's what's going on. So all the Jews in Israel, all the Jews in Palestine, they're not from there. All the Palestinians in Palestine, they're not from there. They just showed up 100 years ago, set up shop, took over, and assimilated all the Irish people who were exterminated. That's what's going on. And then, like 20 years later, they decided, well, fuck. We took all the Middle Easterns, criminals and undesirables, and put them in Palestine. We're going to go to Europe and take all the criminals and undesirables and put them in the same Palestine and call it Israel. So, here we are. That's what's going on. So Israel has this holy feather stuck up its ass thinking, oh yeah, we can do whatever we want. Because why? Because America keeps funding them. If America stops funding Israel, Israel's gone. But we're funding Israel because it's like a pseudo 51st state. So that way nobody can say, oh, it's us, America, attacking these places. But remember, when America went to war with Iraq and Iran and Libya, no Israelis took part. Why? Because it's part of the script. It's part of the plan. So Israel has to spread eastward into the Middle East. And Trump is like, well, fuck, dude. I don't want to send America into another endless war. We're not going to attack Iran. Because remember, if Israel attacked Iran, Israel doesn't send troops. Israel did not send troops into Iraq. Israel did not send troops into Afghanistan. Israel did not send troops into Libya. So, what do? We take all these Europeans that are outcasts and put them in Israel and then let them attack wherever they can. So if shit hits the fan, we can always just cut off Israel and say, yo, dude, we're not a part of this. But the thing is, we will undercut and send all this money and all this funding, which we're currently doing, such as with Israel attacking Gaza, because the flood is over. In Eastern Mediterranean is a great seaport. So think about it like this. You have Syria, Jordan, Lebanon, all those countries right there on the eastern, from Turkey to Egypt, all right? And so all those people are saying, hey, yo, let's take this over. So when shit hits the fan, we're using an American proxy, which is a European proxy. So we took the Europeans, we put them in the Middle East, Israel, and now we're trying to fucking spread them out. And all these Israelis like, oh yeah, we're great Israel. We're great Israel. And we let Israelis do all the shit they want. And so America, we're saying, hey, you cannot down talk the Israelis because they're our proxy. But in a couple of years, it's all going to be gone. Because in a couple of years, America will say, hey, everybody who went against Israel, such as those who support the Middle East, Palestine, Syria, Libya, we're going to send them to El Salvador, all right? And they're going to be gone forever. And then when that happens, we're going to cut off Israel. So Israel will no longer have funding or missiles. So the Middle East will crush in. By that time it happens, various canals and seaports will be built, and America will own them and take them over, all right, for trade. And so South America, where all the Americans are being sent into the Salvadorian fucking prison, we will take over Mexico, the Central America, and the South America, And so all those people will be sent to Africa because Africa or Asia. So they're all being sent to Asia to go fight China and be grounded out. And then China will fight out in Africa. All right. So China is going to take over Taiwan and then spread out to Africa. Okay. Because China took over a lot of strongholds in Africa. So then and so did Russia and so did Europe. So then all the undesirables and criminals from Asia, Russia, Europe, and the United States will be sent to Africa to go battle it out. And we're just going to fucking Palestine disinfect everything south of the American border, Mexico, Central America, South America. That will all become white people land. And then Europe will become white people land because Europe will draft. So look at London. London is like 50% fucking sand nigger or foreigners, Pakistanis. All the non-white people will be sent off to war. So we're going to go grind them out against China. And China will disinfect all the non-Chinese from Asia and then swoop them into Africa. So think about that, yo. Russia gets rid of all their non-Russians. China gets rid of all their non-Chinese. America gets rid of all their non-white Americans. Europe gets rid of all their non-white Europeans. And they're all sent to battle each other in Africa. Now you know. That's the ultimate plan. So when Trump talks about sending Americans to a mega prison in El Salvador, that's all part of a plan to say, hey, we're sending Americans to El Salvador, and then we're going to find out they're being used and abused and harmed. So we're going to have to send Americans into El Salvador. How do we do that? We crush through Mexico and Central America. That's how. Honestly. Yep. So that's why we're putting American soldiers to occupy the southern border. And so on 420, that's the 90-day fucking fuckery of a executive order that allows martial law, that will allow the United States military to take over the entire United States and saying, hey, yo, there's no more police, there's no more lawyers, there's no more judges. All crime goes through the military. So that way they can say, okay, all these criminals, we're just sending south of our border. So then the government can say, oh, our people who are criminals were sent to south of the border and their rights were violated. So we have to go south of the border. So we have to fucking rampage through the cartels into Guatemala, past Guatemala and the Panama Canal into El Salvador. Because think of where El Salvador is. How close is El Salvador to the Panama Canal, right? The Panama Canal is owned by BlackRock. BlackRock owns Bancroft International. Bancroft International is the largest American mercenary corporation. Bancroft International is the equivalent to Wagner Group PMC in Russia. So we think about this. What is the military PMC of China? Right? China has several, or at least one, major PMC, private military corporation, and they're in not Taiwan, fucking Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, and on the east side of India into the Philippines and Australia. So think about that, yo. Do you guys realize there is a Chinese Wagner Group, a Chinese PMC, a Chinese para-mercenary corporation in Australia. Booyah, mic drop, motherfuckers. Clip that, motherfuckers. Yeah, so think about it, yo. Do you realize in Australia and New Zealand and in Indonesia, including the Philippines, there is a Chinese PMC. There's a Chinese Wagner Group. There's a Chinese Bancroft Group. Most people know about Bancroft. Bancroft International is the American Blackwater that's in international. Yeah, dude. Look it up. Booyah, mic drop, motherfuckers. So, I'm about to finish my alcohol. What are y'all up to? My computer says it is 32 degrees Fahrenheit outside. Temperature outside.
It's 33 degrees in Denver right now.
It's 33 degrees, but it's supposed to have 1 a.m. 32, 12 a.m. 32, 3 a.m. 32, 4 a.m. 32. It's going to be freezing outside. All right, so 5 a.m. 33, 6 a.m. 32, 7 a.m. 31, 8 a.m. 31, 9 a.m. 30. All right, so it's supposed to drop to freezing until 2 p.m. At 2 p.m. tomorrow, it's supposed to hit 33 degrees. It's supposed to snow all day tomorrow. So think about it like this. 2 p.m. 33, 3 p.m. 33, 4 p.m. 33, 5 p.m. 33, 6 p.m. 32, that's freezing. 7 p.m. 31, 8 p.m. 30, 9 p.m. 30, 10 p.m. tomorrow, 29. But it's supposed to be snowing all day tomorrow, except at 12 p.m. when it will be 32 degrees. So the only time it's not supposed to snow tomorrow is 1 hour when it's freezing. And then every hour past that, it goes up 1 degree and then down again for, holy shit, 12 a.m. on Saturday, it'll be 29 degrees with a hardcore snow flurry. All right, yeah. So now you know what's going on. We're going to crush out reality in World War III. America will take over the American continent. Canada, England, North America, South America, Central America, right? We're going to Palestine. All those motherfuckers south of us, including the Caribbean. Russia will take over Europe. China will take over Asia. India, I really don't know what's going on because remember, the Middle East and Africa will stay a constant war zone because that's the plan and that's how they're going to continue to pump money into the military industrial complex. So I'm calling it right now, all right? So everybody leave to that. Peace. Love you. I'm going to call this stream. It is 12:38 a.m. 32 degrees Fahrenheit, which means it's freezing outside. So everybody in YouTube land, stay warm if you need to stay warm. Stay cool if you need to stay cool. Stay healthy, stay safe, stay sober if you choose the sobriety. Peace. Love you. And broadcast. Click. And broadcast. Click.